All right, welcome to our next video in the series. This is for Snap programming. We are working on a new lab. I think this is generally considered lab number 3. And the name of this lab is Go, Mario, Go. And the idea is we've got a beloved video game character, Mario, the plumber, and his nemesis, the reptilian dinosaur thing, Bowser. And I want to be able to get Mario to move, and I want to be able to get Bowser to chase. And so the spirit of this lab is we really want to start to get a grip on animation. We want things to move across the stage in a dynamic and interesting way. So the way the controls are set up, if I hit the right arrow key, Mario moves to the right, and it even looks like he's moving thanks to a costume change. And if I hit left, I get him to walk left. Pretty sharp looking. If I hold it down, he walks. Just like the video games. What you're looking at is something called a walk cycle. It's made up of 3 images where there's, his foot goes down. Then I think what we call this is the pass by, where one leg passes the other. And then the other foot reaches out to make contact with the ground. It goes down, pass by, contact, ground. And we get that nice looking cycle. So for this lab, all you're going to do is get Mario to be able to move back and forth on left and right arrow. And if I press B, then Bowser moves towards Mario. And it doesn't matter where Mario is. If I press B, Bowser chases him. That's the idea. There's also an extra credit option where if you hit F, a fireball goes from Bowser to Mario, regardless of wherever the 2 of them are. That is really all that Lab 3 needs to do. So let's review the document. This is the PDF you should have in front of you. We discuss blocks that you've used before and new blocks that you're going to use. This is also the first time that we're going to make good use of the sprite description panel. I would encourage you when preparing for this assignment not to skip this part. There's a common error that people get when doing this lab where Mario flips himself upside down. And the way to fix that is in the sprite description panel, making sure that you've said Mario must face left or right, therefore can never turn upside down. I would also encourage you to name your sprites here. It's just a good habit to get into. A program that's made up of Sprite, Sprite 2, Sprite 3, and Sprite 4 is confusing. A program that's made up of Mario, Fireball, Bowser, Koopa, those are all much more descriptive and help us do a better job of writing good programs. Part 1 is to assign a costume to Mario, and I'm going to model how to do that. Part 2 is to get Mario to move. Part 3 is to get Bowser to attack. And there's the fireball that we're looking for. So how do we accomplish this task? Well, here's a blank snap screen. And we see our little turtle sprite sticking out there in the middle. I'm going to make this turtle sprite. This is going to be my Mario. So I'm going to go ahead and name this Mario right here. And then I'm going to use the new sprite button down here just below the stage to make another sprite. We'll make this Bowser. And I'm going to put Bowser on the right. We'll put Mario on the left. And I could, if I really wanted to, selecting Mario, going to costumes, I guess I could try to draw Mario. There's his head and his body and his arms, and he's running, and it's just, I feel like it's not my best artwork, right? You could try to make a Mario, but it's not going to look very good. So let's not try to hand draw Mario. Let's instead go to, hopefully you found on the post online that I posted a bunch of costumes for you to use. And what you're going to do is you're just going to go to the costumes tab for Mario and drag those one at a time into the screen. And you'll see that your sprite turns into Mario. We're dragging those right into the costume workspace. So I've got the first costume, the second costume, and the third costume. And as long as I'm here, I'll head to Bowser. I'll head to Bowser's costume, and I'll drag Bowser's costume onto the screen. And there we go. We've got Bowser. We've got Mario. First thing you might have noticed is they're both way too big. Let's go ahead and fix that. I'm going to set size to maybe 30% for Mario. Click right on that. Boom. Mario looks something much more realistic. We'll do the same thing for Bowser. Let's set Bowser to maybe 40% of Bowser size. There we go. We got a Mario. We got a Bowser. The next thing we want to do, so we've set up the costumes. That's part 1. Part 2, we want to get a script set up so that when we press right, Mario goes right. When we press left, Mario goes left. So I'm going to grab a when key is pressed block, and I'm going to say when the right arrow key is pressed, we want to go right. Now, remember, this stage that you're working with is just like an XY grid, just like a Cartesian coordinate grid that you've been doing in your algebra class. So if you want to go right, you want to move x in the positive direction. We'll change x by 10. If we want to go left, and I can use this handy duplicate function right here, then we would say left means we're going to change x in the negative direction. And now, when I go right, hit right, I go right. When I hit the left key, I'll go left. So we've made a little bit of progress. Next thing is we realize it doesn't really look like Mario's moving. So let's put some costume changes in there. In the looks category, we can say next costume, ba-dink, next costume, ba-dink. And now, whenever Mario moves, it looks like he is changing costume. Although you may notice, it kind of looks like he's moonwalking. When I try to walk forward, it kind of looks like he's walking backwards right as I walk forward. So to fix that, I'm just going to change the order of how things are, the order of the costumes by dragging them to a different order. And now we see Mario looks like when he goes right that he's walking. The last problem we have, or the second to last problem we have, is that when I go left, Mario doesn't face left. So what I need to do is I need one of these point in direction blocks. If Mario goes, if we hit the left key, we want him to face left. And if Mario goes right, we want him to face right. Remember, directions in Snap is based on 360 degrees, where 0 is up, 90's to the right, 180's straight down, 270's to the left. So we've got it set up the way we want. So if I hit right, he goes right. If I hit left, okay, Mario's going left. But what happened? Well, the way that Snap works is if my sprite is facing to the right and I want to go left, it spins the entire sprite around to face to the left, because that's what it thinks that you want. Imagine if you had some kind of top-down spaceship game, you would want for your spaceship to look like it had spun and turned to the left, which is why he reflects upside down. Well, because Mario's always wants to have his feet on the ground, we're going to toggle of the 3 buttons up here right by Mario. One button says they can rotate however they like the top-down spaceship game. Lock left right is the second one, and that's the one that says, you know, Mario's a platformer. He always needs to have his feet on the ground. You only want to be able to go right and left. And then I know there's other video games out there where the character is locked in facing one direction, can't rotate at all. That's what that third button's for. So if you can believe it, we actually are now done with part 2 of the lab. The third part, Bowser, I'll leave you to explore on your own. You'll want to put some code in for Bowser. But the trigger is B, so you'll want to maybe do something about when B is pressed. And then your suggestion is try to figure out which motion blocks will help you find Mario, move a little bit closer to him. So anyways, that's my suggestion for Lab 3. Good luck and have fun.